Moving on to the next part, which is financial statement analysis framework. That how do you perform overall financial statement analysis, or what are the steps in performing financial statement analysis. So your steps or your overall framework can depend on your purpose. So maybe someone is performing credit analysis, he will be more focused on analyzing liquidity and solvency. Maybe someone is doing investment analysis, he will be more focused on growth and profitability. So framework or the overall reason for analysis can vary from analyst to analyst. There can be credit analyst would have different reason, investment analyst would have different reason, or any other business analyst would have a different reason. So everyone can have different reason based on their own JDs. But there is a general framework or generic framework that is used in the world of finance to perform this financial statement analysis. What is the framework? This is a 6-step framework that can be applied in investment analysis, credit analysis, or any type of analysis. This is a generic framework that can be applied. These 6 steps are articulating the purpose and context of the analysis, that why are you actually doing the analysis, what is the reason for analysis, whether is it for credit purposes, equity purposes, investment, or any other reasons. Then once you have defined the purpose, then you go on to collecting the data, that what is the data that you will use for analysis. So you collect the input data, that can include financial statements, that can include other information supporting the financial statements, so financial statements or any other data. Once you have collected the data, then you process data, that is you bring it in a form that can be used. So convert raw data into organized data. Then next step is that you analyze, that is you perform your ratio analysis, you look at the past trends, you look at all the ratios, profitability ratios, growth ratios, liquidity, solvency ratios. And then once you have done your analysis and come up to the conclusion, then you develop and communicate conclusion and recommendations through an analysis report or through any other communications. That is whether the company, for example, should be bought or sold, what is the future of the company, whether it should be lended money or not. And once you have issued the report, then comes follow-up. So you follow up on your information and you find out whether there should be a change or not. So once you have formed the groups, I hope you have you all formed the groups? Okay. So once you have formed the groups, then next step is that you select a company, as I discussed, that you should do before next class. And once you have selected the company, then you will start with all this analysis. And the assumption is that at the end of this course, you should be able to have completed all the analysis. So you will do 2 types of analysis, equity analysis and credit analysis. Equity analysis will be more detailed or will take more time. Credit analysis will take lesser of your time. So credit analysis we will do at the end of the course, towards the end. But from now you will begin with equity analysis because it is more detailed. So key task will be that on your company you will start using this framework. So you will go step by step, first, second, third throughout this course, and towards end you will be expected to issue a report. So you will have to present your recommendation with all the facts and reasons, and you will have to write an investment research report, and you will have to publish that report anywhere online. Maybe it can be LinkedIn, or it can be anywhere where you can get it posted, any blog or LinkedIn or anywhere that you can get it published. So you should be able to make a report and you should be able to publish it on a forum towards the end of the course. And that is only possible if you work on that throughout this course. You will also be, our job does not end till class. You will have to use Excel as well, because all this analysis will be performed, the ratio analysis will be performed using Excel. All the financial statement analyses will be performed using Excel. So you will have to use Excel as well. If there is any problem using it, or if you need any support, I can help you with the knowledge that I have. If there is something that I cannot support with, or I even don't know myself about Excel, then you can Google it and learn it. But you will have to do it, and you will have to learn it, and you will have to apply it. So at the end, you should have an Excel model that tells you about overall financial statement analysis. That includes income statement, balance sheet, cash flow, and all that. That has performed ratio analysis, that has performed valuation, that has performed all the financial analysis possible, and based on that, that comes up with a value of the company. And then supporting that, you should have a report that you publish online and that you present here in class. That should be that will be your project for the course, and you need to work on it from now only, and we will have periodic connects about it, so you can keep discussing the progress with me as soon as you progress on that, maybe once in 2 weeks time, or once in a week's time. So going into yes, question. So starting discussion on the framework in detail. So first step is articulating the purpose and context of the analysis. That what is the analysis being used for, what is the purpose, and what is the context of analysis. So at each step there will be certain sources of information. And okay, so starting with the first step, that is articulating the purpose and context of the analysis. That is, what is analysis actually being done for. So at every stage we will have some sources of information and some output. Sources of information at the first stage are the nature of analyst function. So let's say if you are credit analyst, then you are doing analysis for credit purpose. If you are equity analyst, you are doing it for the purpose of investment. If you are working in a credit rating agency, you are doing it for the purpose of issuing a credit rating. And also, how do you decide the purpose? In order for you to decide the purpose, you should be able to meet with your client and communicate with client that what actually client wants. So as an analyst, your job is to provide what client wants. So you should be able to understand the client needs and concerns. Or another source is institutional guidelines. So if you are working in a credit rating agency, that would have some guidelines. If you are working in a brokerage firm, that would have some guidelines. If you are working in an investment bank, that would have some guidelines that would define this purpose for you. Output is a statement of the purpose or objective of analysis. A list of specific questions to be answered by the analysis. So this can be whether the company is overvalued or undervalued, whether the company will grow in future, whether the company will can be given money or lended money or not. Nature and content of report to be provided. Timetable and budgeted resources for completion. So that is about articulating the purpose and context of analysis. Next phase is collecting input data. So what are the sources of information in collecting input data? That includes financial statements, other financial data that we have discussed, questionnaires, and industry and economic data like macroeconomic growth, inflation, demographics, population, and all that. Discussion with management, suppliers, customers, and competitors of the company, and company site visits. So if you are an equity research analyst, then you need to do company site visits and meet with management and meet and see the all production facilities and all that, because you should know whether financial statements are really supported by operations or not, or how are things happening with core operation. Output is organized financial statements, financial data tables, completed questionnaires if applicable. So this is about collecting data. Once you have collected the data and once you have organized it, then this part of output becomes an input to next step. So this becomes an input to processing data. So you take data from previous phase and then you process it. How do you process it? You process it by making adjusted financial statements with respect to your needs, or with respect to by removing any extraordinary items, by including any items that have been missed or but should be a part of financial statements. You make common size financial statements, like for example on income statement you can make income statements for different years, keeping sales as 100 and keeping all other elements as a percentage of sales. That is common size statement. For balance sheet you can keep assets as 100 and show everything else as a percentage of assets. Ratios and graphs to analyze the overall trend. So when you come up with ratios in themselves don't tell you anything, but ratios compared with some other ratios or some other benchmarks would tell you something about the company's performance and position. So you should compare ratios and graphs with past and versus past and versus competitors and versus industry. And then based on that, just performing the historical analysis is not important, but you should be able to come up with the forecast, or you should be able to forecast the future based on the historical analysis. So for example, you may find out that sales growth over the past 5 years have been 10%. So based on that, you can come up with the sales growth for next 5 years or for next 4 years. You may say that sales growth will be the same because nothing has changed, or you may say that opportunities have reduced, population growth has reduced, or market share has gone to be so high, or industry is reaching maturity, so growth will be lower. So you can do it 10 minus 2, 10 minus 3, or whatever you can support with reasoning. Or you may think that company is now expanding its operations, so growth should be higher, so you can do 10 plus 5 or 10 plus 2, whatever. So past can give you a benchmark or a base to start with, but that cannot be the future, because what has happened in the past might not happen in future. So you need to make adjustments to the past and come up with a future estimate. And forecast is the most important thing, because what has happened is not important, what will happen is important, and that is the core job of an analyst, to find out what can happen or what might happen in future. Once you have done all the forecasting ratios and graphs, then this becomes input to next stage, that is analyze and interpret the process data. And then by analysis and interpretation, you come up with analytical results, that for example, whether the company is expected to do good in future or do bad in future, or whether the company is should be bought or should be sold, whether the company should be lended money or should not be lended money. And finally, you develop and communicate conclusions based on your analysis. So you issue a report or you issue a recommendation, for example, buy, sell, hold, or whatever. And based on those conclusions, then investor can take the decision, or investor can take the call of investing or not investing. Or if you yourself are the investor, you can take the action. So your action will be dependent on communication. When communicating the results, make sure that you should not use financial jargons if your audience is not does not have good knowledge of finance. So if you are communicating to an investor or to a general public who do not have good knowledge of finance, then you should make it easy for them. That is, you should explain your analysis a bit, and in your communication you should make finance easier for them. If you are communicating with an investment banker, or if you are issuing report to a big investment firm, then your report should be a bit more technical. So it should depend on the client. So you should know how your client is, and you should be able to communicate in a language that your client understands. And once you have communicated the conclusions, then your job does not end here, but you have to do active follow-up, because with time market will change, with time company will change, and with time environment will change, and maybe something which is valuable today might not be valuable tomorrow. So you need to do constant follow-ups, and you need to change your recommendation or revise your recommendation whenever needed. So this is the overall framework, or this is the generic framework that is used in financial statement analysis. You should know 6 steps, and you should be able to apply it as well, and in your project you will be applying it. Let's take a break.